Well, as you guys can see behind me, we made it home safe and sound. I got all that West Virginia mud from the Hatfield McCoys washed off this guy. Even down an axle, I'd say it did very well running the trails we were running on. Again, once my axle broke, I didn't do anything too aggressive or too hard. I went up a couple black trails to my other axle, started sounding like it was going to do the same thing. And so I stopped and just took it easy. But I still had a blast. I know Lynn, Seth, and Dan had a blast as well. But now comes the time to go over this guy and assess all the damage. Now, obviously, this axle is getting replaced. As you can see, I got a nice heavy-duty Rhino axle here for it. I figured if I'm going to replace it, I'm going to replace it with something a little heavier. I have one ordered for the other side as well. It just is not in yet. Something I didn't realize until we went to leave on Sunday is this tire is no longer staying inflated, so I don't know what's going on with that. So I'll have this pulled off to replace the axle. I'll go ahead and hit it with some soapy water, see if I can find a leak. I've looked it over and have yet to find any obvious gnashes or gashes anywhere, any puncture wounds. So I'm not sure what is going on with it. I don't know, maybe it's just leaking around the valve stem or something down here, but we'll find out. And I still noticed that it had a little wobble, and it kind of looked like the rear driver's side wheel had a wobble to it. I don't know if that's the rim or if it's the tire itself. Maybe some cords inside the tire has broke and caused the bulge, which put it a little out of balance, which would give it a wobble. So I'm probably going to go ahead and check that out as well. So yeah, a little bit of work ahead of me here. Hatfield McCoy trip, still definitely worth it though. Alright guys, moment of truth here. I am going to start peeling this tape off, and we will find out here for sure how well this has actually kept us clean inside our differential. I'll tell you what, I sure taped the snot out of it. I might have to get a knife. This Gorilla Tape's some good stuff. Alright, put you down for a minute. Well, when your tape's that clean on the back side over the hole, I think that's a good sign. My Gatorade cap plug was still inside the hole here. A little bit of diff fluid on it, but not too bad. It's not all chewed up, which means that stuff wasn't getting chewed up in here. So guys, I think that we are in very, very, very lucky, fortunate shape. Oh my, that's good and clean. Let's get a light in here. Oh, that's beautiful in there. I think we're good to put our axle on. I'll clean up around the edge of this here a little bit. And I think we're good. Our diff oil that I can see in there, it's good and clean. Yeah, buddies. Alright, so I got my Rhino axle right here, ready to go. And it is a complete axle from hubcastle nut to diff cup. So you don't have to worry about this guy coming apart with me, or me putting it together wrong. So there. So I'll put a little grease on our splines here. And again, if you have the torque locker installed, you want to make sure you squeeze these retaining clips together a little bit. As loose as this is, it can have a tendency to get caught in the torque locker. If you have to go to replace your axles and pull it out, you might have a little bit of difficulty. So don't forget to give these a little extra squeeze to tighten them up. And we'll stick her in. she is. Phew. Well, even the diff cup size of these things are ginormous compared to the stock. There's a stock diff cup next to the Rhino axle one, and it is quite a bit beefier. I could fit this stock one inside the Rhino one if I wanted to. Quick little tip for you guys, if you don't have a brake man like Seth played for me out on the trail when I had to tear this axle apart in the first place.
Brake boy.
Brake man.
Oh, sorry. Brake boy.
We noticed that.
Well, notice how he answered to brake man, not brake
Boy, yeah, he don't like
right.
being called boy, it's man. I'll remember that next time, Seth.
Okay.
If you have a wood clamp that'll pry as well as clamp, then you can use that to put pressure on the brake if you're working by yourself, and it'll keep your wheels spinning, so then you can go ahead and tighten all your castle nuts, all your lug nuts on your wheels, and you can turn it into a much easier one-man job. Alright, she's all back together, looking beefier than ever. So now that I have that all done, I think I'll go ahead and get some soapy water solution mixed up and see if we can't find where this tire's leaking. Alright, so I got my little water bottle here full of Nature's Promise dish soap, and I've poked a little hole in the top so I can kind of control the flow out of there. I'm going to put quite a bit of air in this tire then, and we'll just go over it with this to see if we can't see any bubbles coming up. That'll show us where our leak is. Check around the valve stem here first. You want to try to not splash it because you don't want to make a whole lot of bubbles. Check around the bead. Just slowly dripping. If you spray it or use a sprayer, then that's going to cause a lot of bubbles to begin with, and isn't going to show you much. Okay, so I don't see any leaks along the bead. We're just going to slowly go around here. Aha! Found her! Right there she is. Right there, look at the bubbles! Look at the bubbles! That's a stinking side wall puncture. So, looks like I'm going to be tubing her. Luckily I have a couple tubes, so we should be good to go for that. That means it's once again time to bust out the good old Harbor Freight tire changer. There's never ever 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 any trouble here in Bubble Land, Bubble Land, Bubble Land. And just like that, she is back together and ready to rip and tear. Well, she's back together anyway. I probably won't rip and tear until I get that other axle in. What I can do though now is hit the trail a little bit. See if I can find that wobble that's in the back. If there is a wobble, you know, them trails that had a lot of whoopsie type stuff in it, so it might have just been that. But I'm pretty sure there's a wobble in that tire somewhere. So I'm going to hit the trail, see if I can't narrow down where that's coming from. Appalachian Mountain Riders is brought to you in part by the following. The Honda Side-by-Side Club, because who knows the machines better than the owners that use them every day. Walker Evans Racing. When the path requires more than just ordinary, head on over to walkerevansracing.com. Torque Locker from Torque Masters Industries. When you want to explore the unexplored, head on over to torquemasters.com. And by my gracious supporters on Patreon.